A Reddit story called I Secretly Married a Muslim Woman by Bodhi Charm Violet. Backstory: I white, Christian, male, 30, married a wonderful brown, Muslim female, 30. I grew up in Nowhere, Oklahoma, in a town of about 400 people. I was a bull rider most of my life, grew up farming, hunting, etc. I drove loud lifted trucks and swam in the river. When I left school early, I joined a not so great racial group, just hear me out, lived in a very patriotic conservative Christian town. I was your typical southern good old boy raising hell slinging mud and loved it. I left school at an early age, started working and partying like crazy. I moved to the big city as a teen, found some friends and had fun. One of my friends showed me a store that would sell me beer tobacco that was owned by a Muslim family. One happened to be this cute girl, but obvious differences. I didn't have a lot of choice but to go there, but at least it was cheap. Over the next 2 years I somewhat got to know them, but not much more. Then I moved away for 2 years. I eventually visited to see my friends and went back to that store every day as still underage. This time something different happened. I noticed myself having happy conversations with them. With these great people from Bangladesh who were still fresh off the boat, so to speak, having only been here a couple years and still hardly spoke English. I started becoming friends with the daughter, going to the store or whatever together, and next thing I knew I kind of started to like her. By this point I was starting to realize that, hey, these people aren't any different than me. They're wonderful, friendly people, and aside from accent, language, and skin, they're no different than anyone else. I left the not-so-nice group now, realizing that I was wrong for having the feelings I had towards other people and that we're all just people and I was being terrible. BTU, where I'm from, had nothing to do with it, all-white town, so no one ever talked about it, and the people are very respectful. I ended up staying around just because I had feelings for her. Moved in with my friends and got a job. She was an incredible girl, absolutely beautiful, funny, very smart, sweet. She was the perfect girl, and we communicated pretty well. She spoke decent English and was getting better. Unfortunately, it could never be because of who I am and who she is. She's not going to like me anyway, even if she could be with me. 4 months go by and I can't take it anymore. I asked her to dinner one night, which was normal. We ate out before and decided I was going to ask her out. We had dinner, and at the end I was so nervous and scared and so many butterflies I could barely speak. I finally just forced myself to blurt out, "I love you, would you go out with me as a girlfriend?" As soon as that came out, my heart dropped to my knees. I knew it was going to be a no, and just wanted to die right there. I heard her say something and I was so worked up that I couldn't hear. I asked her what she said. I looked up as she happily spoke out yes with the most beautiful smile and shine. I could not believe she said yes. How? She can't even be with me. We snuck around behind everyone, dating and seeing each other every chance we got, even if it was for 2 seconds. We would even drive all the way across town or leave work to see each other for 5 minutes. We did it a lot. Nobody knew, but life was great. After half a month to the day I knew, no matter what, I wanted to be with her forever. That feeling that people say you just know is confirmed real. I knew that no matter where life took me, I had to have her by my side. I just wanted to be with her every minute of my life. I worked as hard as I could, as fast as I could, and finally came up with the money to buy a ring, and I was going to ask her to marry me. I nervously drove with her to our secret spot that afternoon and we sat by the water just talking. I worked up all the courage I had, turned to her and said, "Will you marry me?" After what felt like the space-time continuum froze for eternity, really 0.5 seconds, tears rolled out of her face as the most beautiful, wonderful, smart, gorgeous, kindest, loving woman I'd ever seen said yes. The feelings I felt were unlike anything I've ever experienced and could not begin to describe the feeling I had. This is happening. She's really mine. I'm going to marry her.